And also, not to be forgotten, you see Mr. Ted Cruz in the news again?
Fuck that guy.
But I saw this, and obviously this is nowhere near the point of getting overturned. But the fact that some a-hole politician like Ted Cruz, because unfortunately that's what he is, puts out there about the Supreme Court being clearly wrong about same-sex marriage. And admittedly, I didn't read any articles about it because I figured if we're going to talk about it on the show, might as well wait until that point to really get into it. But I'm sure it's going to be talked about, well, it shouldn't be a constitutional right. I'm like, but also too, it kind of gives a little bit of credence to the fact that whenever the rumblings were going around about, Supreme Court overturning Roe versus Wade before they actually did it, I think I even talked to you about this on the show or in production meeting. People putting out there, well, what's next once abortion's gone? Same-sex marriage. And then not only just a few weeks after, Roe versus Wade was overturned, here we have, again, one politician, of course, from the state of where, puts it up, hey, they were wrong about this. And I almost kind of feel like, even though, like I just said, it's not to the point of being overturned, same-sex marriage, that is, just the fact that one guy is willing to put that out there in public, I almost feel like it starts sprinkling the seeds, watering the plants. You know what I mean?
I mean, clearly, Cruz is just looking to be talked about. So,
well, that is what politicians do. I mean, that's what they got to do for, attention is what it is. And that's not just one side or the other. That's what they're supposed to do. That's, but it is something to keep in mind that here on July 18th, this is out there. Because if it ever does become a thing where that could possibly be overturned, and as much as I want to sit here and say there's no way they'll ever overturn it, I want to sit here and wholeheartedly be strong and say they never will.
I feel like there are no sacred amendments.
But I'm not disagreeing with you at all on that one. But the funny thing about it is, you would think this one would be close to it because this directly involves individuals. Like we always talk about gun laws and stuff like that. People can always say guns don't kill people, or rather, people don't kill people, or whatever the hell the saying is. But these are actual individuals. You know what I mean? Obviously, abortion involves individuals too, but this involves like adult individuals in regards to having a right to live their individual lives, to have zero effect on you, me, person C down the street. You are not, neither one of you or me are not part of the LGBT community. However, I can have empathy for them when it comes to that glorious day for them that happened when they finally were allowed to legally get married to each other.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. I understand that. But what I'm saying is there's nothing sacred. And
I thought marriage was sacred. I know it's something hard to say to you right now. I get that. But the fact of the matter is, for these individuals especially, because they didn't have the right to do it, and then if that gets taken away, I feel like that's going to be a major setback for the country, period.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm simply stating that that's why we call them amendments, because they...
Well, that's the thing. This isn't an amendment. This is not in the Constitution. And that's probably what again, I don't read this article I have in front of me now, but I'm guessing that's what he's probably fucking referring to. Because technically it's not in the Constitution.
Okay, here's what I'm saying now. The Constitution still has changed, and interpretation on laws also change. And so that's why I'm saying that, like, I get your larger point. Yeah, it's not an amendment, but as long as somebody can rule on it, there are no guarantees.
This is true, but I guess here's the thing, though. Just like Roe versus Wade, they can overturn that decision and put it back in the hands of the states. Like I want to hear you say it again. States' rights.
Not tonight.
Come on. Okay. But yeah, so that's going to be the whole free for all. It's like, okay, now what states are going to go? What are going to go ahead and say, hey, you can't do it here, not here, not here.
Not in my America.
Now, obviously, ultimately, every state's not going to ban it. Like, I'm sure Illinois is not going to. Obviously, Indiana probably would. So that would just mean people are going to flock to all the states where they can get married. But I guess the problem with that, though, is if you don't live in that state, the state you live in is not going to recognize that. And I guess the other question is, what's going to happen to those people who got married, say they lived in Indiana, he had a legal marriage license? Is that license going to get null and void now? Going forward? If that, again, all this is speculation, folks. It's obviously had nothing that happened yet, but I just found that so interesting. Not shocking at all because this person is the one that said it. But again, sprinkling the water on the seeds. You know what I mean? If one guy says it, one of his buddies says, hey, you know what? He might be right. And then if somebody from the Supreme Court hears that and they feel some kind of the same way that he might be right, then guess what? Now we're in the same boat as Roe versus Wade. Sprinkling the seeds. And maybe that's what his plan was. Like you said earlier, attention.